Urban Revolution Radio's Your Morning Show with your boy Nino and your man D Hicks, broadcasting live from the Evans Motor Studios at 1056 East Riverside Drive. Is the home of the buy here, pay here option. All of the great deals for you. You can use promo code Nino, Nino, and you get that $100 Visa gift card upon purchase completion. And if you are an independent artist or entrepreneur, small business owner, and you would like to get your voice heard here on Urban Revolution Radio's Your Morning Show, all you have to do is hit us up on our email at ninoincognito@gmail.com with a clean MP3 version of your music and a brief description of your business. And if it's on point, we'll show it as much love as we possibly can, because we are the home of the independent artist and entrepreneur here on Urban Revolution Radio. And you could be our next independent artist or entrepreneur of the month, just like the Alfaros over there at Los Alfaros Hispanic restaurant here on Evansville's southeast side. We was talking about the Alec Baldwin, the shooting on that movie set, very reminiscent of the
Bruce Lee
and Brandon Lee. His son died the same way. And the blank. People don't realize, the dangers of blanks. You know what I mean? People think it's just air coming out and going. Maybe the gun is just making noise or whatever. But no, the only thing that's the difference between a bullet and a blank is the projectile that's on the cover. There's no projectile actually being forced out of it like a metal jacket or anything like that. But there is explosive pressure coming out of the barrel of that gun, and even the covering of the blanks themselves and some pieces of the blanket can fly out of that gun and hit people. Even just the air, if you hold a blank close enough to something,
it's gonna sting.
You know what I mean? It'll put a hole through you. You know what I mean? But they're saying now though there was live ammunition in that gun. They thought it was just a blank misfire or something like that, but they were saying maybe that there was a loaded round purposefully put in that gun at a prior thing and wasn't taken out part of safety protocols. Let's check it out. According to CNN.com, said the assistant director on the new movie that Alec Baldwin was shooting called Rust was the subject of complaints back in 2019. It said he had complaints for safety and his behavior on the set during two productions in 2019. The two people worked closely with him. They told, according to CNN.com, say the complaints were against Dave Halls, the assistant director, for a disregard for safety protocols for weapons and pyrotechnics use, blocked fire lanes and exits, and instances of inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So he's got a history of not checking weapons, apparently, or hiring people that might kind of be slack on the safety protocols going on the set. And they handed, I saw a couple memes that was trying to come down on Alec Baldwin. I guess some of the
I did too, bro.
The pro gun,
not his fault.
the anti-gun regulation kind of saying that, or if he would have had better gun safety training, he would have known to check the weapon before he pointed it at somebody. But like I say, even if you check a weapon, when you check it, the way you check it, he couldn't have told that that was a blank or a real bullet in there. You know what I mean? All you're going to see is the back of the case. Most things just going to click. You know what I mean? Even if he's using a revolver back then, because they shooting an old Western movie. So I'm assuming they haven't said what kind of gun that it was or a prop gun that it was supposed to be imitating. But I'm assuming since he was shooting an old Western,
there was old 6-shooter or something.
You know what I mean? Some kind of revolver style weapon. And the way you check a revolver is you're going to put the barrel out, look and see if it's something. And you're not going to be able to tell if
it's real or fake or not.
You know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to point the gun at themselves to see if the bullet pointed to the You're not going to point the barrel at your own face to try to see if it's something. You're going to look at the back and see if it's some kind of thing in the back that the hammer's going to hit. Is something in there. The dude who was in charge of
didn't do the protocol.
You know what I mean? He's supposed to be trusted. This is what this guy getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to do, to make sure that that gun is on point. It doesn't have the But I come to find out, I saw in another post, they said that the people like the safety protocol and one of the I guess ex-police officers or something that was in charge of the weapons checking and all that stuff, they were using those prop guns for target practice on the set. They were putting real rounds,
and they probably neglected to look at those guns when they were finished.
You know what I mean? People think there's no difference between really a gun that shoots blanks and a real gun. I mean, only thing is the ammunition.
Right.
This was not a prop gun made out of cardboard or something like and they put the bang bang on the screen.
Right.
These are real weapons that they doing, but the only difference is they're putting in different ammunition in there. They put no blank. So you're supposed to have somebody that's trained. Okay, yeah, I'm certifying that this gun has blanks in whatever you told me to put in. Alec Baldwin is not supposed to be in charge of the weapon. He's the actor.
He's the actor, period.
You know, how they trying to put it on him in any kind of way. But they said the only reason, according to the CNN, they said the only reason the crew was made aware of a weapon's presence was because the assistant prop master demanded Dave acknowledge and announce the situation every day to letting people know there's a live weapon. Right, you know,
on set.
Same way, you know, you go to the weapon range and letting people know. I mean, the live rounds going down range. You know what I mean? Let you know what's going on. You know, so she added that the prop master would announce it every day, and when a gun would be required on camera, and whether it was a rubber, plastic replica, a non-firing option, or a cold. Functional weapon, but unloaded out. Like I said, there's many different props and weapons that they use. You know, they have the fake ones that they, really, you probably running with on the scene or something like that don't require you to have a real weapon on there like that. But there's sometimes when you have to fire that and make that sound for the movie, you got to use that real gun for that.
Somebody set up.
Somebody was really I think it was more just lazy. Because once I read that story about them using those guns before that,
assistant director.
Yeah, it was part of the thing, you know what I mean? What they was doing, the scene. You know what I mean? And the director, they going in trying to go over the scenes like, yeah, I want you to put it like, like this, bing.
Somebody set up.
It was just they didn't take that other round out. They were using that gun for unintended purposes. That gun was not supposed to be used for no target practice off on the side.
Or set Alex Baldwin up.
He's the guinea pig right now.
Right, you feel me?
You know what I mean?
Not her, but set Alex Baldwin up.
Honestly though, but there's no way that they can, to me personally, if I was on the jury, I'm telling you, like, there's no way that I even just looking at this unless unless somebody saw Alec Baldwin take a blank out and put a round in there himself after the safety person handed him the weapon with the all clear code. It's got blanks in it, certified, blah blah blah. It had to go through 2-3 people before it got to Alec Baldwin's hand. They going over the sink, so there's no way that I would find him in any kind of negligence or anything like that. If anything, I would go after that that prop master. He's supposed to be in charge.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in charge.
You know what I mean? That could be some negligent homicide kind of, I'm gonna check that out and see if it's something like that. It's a Gall statement also describes an instance where a licensed pyrotechnician had a medical emergency on set and Halls asked her to continue with the shooting. I told him that they were free to film whatever they want, but there would be no fire or sparks, etc., until the medic, fire safety officer, and all of my crewmates were safely back on set. And say Hall didn't respond to CNN's request for comment Saturday night about Gall's allegations against him. You know what I mean? So as I say, it's not on Alec Baldwin. People who are trying to say Alec Baldwin is at fault in any kind of way for not checking the weapon, for not doing it, for pointing it at somebody else, that's neither here nor there. He was told and under the impression that was a gun that had blanks in it, and he was following the directions of his director to do this for him. That what I mean? It wasn't no argument that was going on set. He just points the gun at the director. No, they were practicing the scene on there, and he thought, okay, to fire it, pow, and it just happened to be a real round that time, what I mean, that they forgot to take out when they was doing their target practice on the side that they wasn't supposed to be doing. That's just my theory on how it went down. You know what I mean? Do you see any fault in Alec?
Not Alex Baldwin, because like I said, it should have been all clear before he even touched the gun. So it had to go through protocol, had to go through steps and everything.
You know what I mean? So what do you think? Do you think Alec Baldwin is at fault in any kind of way, or who do you think should be at fault for that shooting that happened on set for his new movie, Rust? Let us know on our Facebook page, facebook.com/live999WJCB or facebook.com/Nino Incognito.